Good morning, Raptor fam. Happy Thursday, because today is like our Friday. On today's show, we dig in with the boys volleyball club. We get cozy with the library's new books, and we get adventurous with our cheese plates. What? Let's go! Good morning, Raptors, and thanks for tuning in. Happy Thursday, Gotchi. And yeehaw, so close to spring break. Any big plans?
Nah, just vibing and chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. But instead of shooting some B-roll down by the school, I might check out the boys volleyball club. Sophomore Anthony Ayala saw that we need for a boys volleyball club. So wouldn't y'all know he went ahead and started it? I dig it.
This is Keaton Rocktown News. Today I interviewed Anthony Ayala about the RHS Boys Volleyball Club.
The Boys Volleyball Club is basically to give an opportunity for boys to play volleyball in this school since we have no real team. We meet every Monday from 3 to 5. We're hoping to get either Wednesdays or Fridays also to play, but for right now we have only Mondays. So our first meeting I feel like was pretty good. We had a lot of people show up. We had about 15 people show up and 17 people sign up for the club. I liked it. We did an hour of practicing, running different types of drills, and then we also did an hour of scrimmaging after. So the club is open to boys of any grade. All you have to do is get a waiver from Mr. Legoff in room A202 and bring it the day you come play.
First thing we do, we condition a little bit, basically just running. Then we do drills. We basically practice settings, spiking and serving. But then at the end, it mostly gets a lot more fun because we do scrimmages against each other, just teams versus another team, which is overall, it's really fun for me.
Hey, I'm Mr. Legoff. So I'm the Boys Volleyball Club sponsor. So I'm just sponsoring the club. Anybody who wants to come out and play, we're doing some volleyball drills just to learn a little bit about the sport. Some guys have never played volleyball before. And then towards the end, we just play volleyball. Just trying to have fun.
Dude, that is so cool. I bet I could hang with him.
Maybe you could play back row or maybe stick to the reading with spring break coming up. You might want to check out the library to snag a couple cozy reads. They recently doubled their book inventory.
I gotta get in there and see if they have my latest Dragon Romantasy. Ranya and Yessica visited the library just as they were unboxing to talk all things books with Miss Campbell and Miss K.
It's Yessica, Ranya here. Today we're here at the Rocktown Library, and we're going to be talking about the books that we had from the beginning of the year, which was 3,000, and now we have gained 2,500 more, and we're going to be talking about those books today.
To get the most variety, and I asked teachers and staff and students. We might think about having a book club. Yes, we don't have one right now because we didn't have enough books. Yes. We actually have 6 boxes that are supposed to be delivered anytime today. Yes. And I am putting forth another order probably tomorrow for more books. Oh, I've always enjoyed reading. You can learn things, so it's informative, and you can escape to a different world. That you should. It is important. It gives you a larger vocabulary. It can make you more intelligent. It just, like I said, you learn and you experience different cultures, so it's definitely a good thing.
I'm excited about the books because our shelves are filling up and there's a lot more variety for our students to choose from. And the collection's genre-fied now, so it makes it easier for people to find things that they're interested in. So I actually pulled 3 books that are some of my favorites in the collection. I pulled a nonfiction and then 2 fiction books. So this first one I just read this school year. I read it a lot of the time when I was on hall duty, and it's Killers of the Flower Moon. It's about the Osage Nation in Oklahoma and a series of murders that occurred because the Osage were some of the wealthiest people in the United States in the 1920s. They owned land that was built on oil reserves, and a lot of mysterious and tragic things started happening. So that tragedy actually caused the creation of the FBI in the United States. The invention of Hugo Cabret is one of my favorites, and I like to show this one because it's a super thick book. It has the Caldecott medal on the front, which means that it's a really good book. And when you open it up, what you find is that even though it's a really thick book, a lot of it, there's some text, but a lot of it is actually pictures, and the pictures tell as much of the story as the words do. This is an awesome story that it's easy to get lost in. My all-time favorites, this is Fairy Tale by Stephen King. Stephen King is known for horror, but a lot of his stories are actually centered around human connection and relationships. And this is a story about a young kid who befriends this old man. And when the old man passes away, the young boy inherits his property, which has a portal to a fairy tale world. And so he goes on this grand adventure. It's one of my favorites. Reading is enjoyable for me because it's a way to escape. It's a way for me to not think about what's going on in my everyday life and to live out someone else's story or learn about other people. And I would say to people who are reluctant readers that there is a book for everybody, and if you haven't found it yet, we can help you find that book.
I don't know, Stephen King is a little too scary for me. I might need to sleep with my nightlight on. Gotchi, what do you do when you feel a tad bit scared at night?
Well, Matthew, my boy, I try to think about happy thoughts to calm my fears, and sometimes those happy thoughts include cheese. Someone who loves to think about cheese is Rowan Wang. He loves it so much that he made an entire video game about cheese. Here is Stites with more about charcuterie quest.
Rowan Wang is a student here at Rocktown who has dedicated much of their time to making their very own video game, Charcuterie Quest.
The first thing I did was level design, which was I had to create tiles, which basically make up the level. And I had to type in I had two different keys. You had periods and commas, and then commas were like ground tiles, and then periods were just empty space. So I had to type in layers of periods and commas to make tiles to make my level. And then after that, I added the cheese, I added the cheese's movement, I added the health bar and the health bar UI, and then after that I added enemies and spikes. Okay, so Charcuterie Quest was actually a class project for the programming and design class, and it was the final project where we had to make a short video game in P5.js, which is a program that's supposed to teach people how to use JavaScript. It's a little annoying, and it's a bit tedious because I have to go through the code and I have to play through the game multiple times until the glitch has been fixed, and I have to skim through my code and read it all and write new code or take out old ones. I wanted to make a platformer since the beginning of the class, and then because I like cheese, I decided to make a cheese platformer where it's about how the cheese is always rolling and never stops. It's pretty challenging, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun. My love of cheese inspired me to make Charcuterie Quest because it's a fun game, and I just wanted to make a game that's fun and simple, and that's what Charcuterie Quest is. It's just a fun cheese platformer game.
Wow, I can barely log into my Google Drive, and we have students out there coding video games. Just amazing. Rowan, I have an idea for a game. It involves a bottle of snack chips and salsa varieties. Let's chat.
Okay, and finally, with spring break mere hours away, we want to remind everyone about the attendance challenge that starts after break. To recap, we have popsicles here for the details about the attendance challenge.
The goal of the school is to achieve 95% daily attendance. That is something Rocktown hasn't done since August of this year. So that's it. If we hit 95 attendance one day of school this year, there will be a reward for the whole school. We'll hand out ice cream sandwiches and popsicles during fourth block, and we'll also have a raffle for every student who's present that day. 15 students will be picked out to come pick out a gift card.
So the second challenge gets a little bit more difficult. We're asking you to hit 95% attendance 3 days in a row. If that is achieved, everyone will again get an ice cream sandwich / popsicle during fourth block. Every student present for all 3 days will have their names entered into a raffle. This time, 25 names will be picked out, and those students will have their choice of a free gift card.
And then the final challenge would be to hit 95% daily attendance for 5 days straight. If that's achieved, then the attendance team will provide a full ice cream sundae bar after lunch, as well as the top 10 huddles will be put into a raffle. 3 of those huddles will be chosen, and then everybody in that huddle will receive a free gift card. Now there's some ground rules around each of the challenges. So each challenge must be completed independently. So when you complete day 1 of 95% attendance, you got to get 3 totally separate days of 95% attendance for the second challenge. You must be present to be enrolled in the raffle for the free gift cards, and you must be present on the day the raffle happens so that you can receive your gift card.
So the gift cards available are from several fast food and local restaurants, as well as local shopping options. These include but are not limited to McDonald's, Klein's, Casa Gallardo, Tequila Modern Mexican, Shenandoah Bicycle Company, and Rocktown Bikes, Walkabout Outfitters, and Dart as well.
All you have to do is show up.
We'll see you here.
So I will see you back here on April 7th, so close yet so far away. Stay safe out there, Raptors. Make good decisions, treat people with kindness, and enjoy your break.